Hello, this is Kara from Kara Tarot with a general reading for Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. I'm continuing to use the hashtag JuneSun25 for prompts for questions for my reading. Today, working with the borderless Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and the word for today is bright, and the word prompts were put out by Glitter by Ink and Tarot by Jeff, and then those were turned into questions by Cosmic Crow Tarot. And so bright has been turned into what bright and encouraging message do you have for me today? And I'm going to use the spread that Taproot Tarot brought to my attention by tarot luminary Vincent Pitisci. And this is the 3-dimension spread. I have already shuffled. I haven't cut. What bright and encouraging message do you have for me today? Kind of a toss-up. Take those. Okay. So we have the topic, the conflict or opposition, and the potential outcome. And then fleshing these out. Trying to use sunlight today, sunlight on this table, so I'm going to move things a little bit. Okay, so what bright and encouraging messages do you have for me today? Looking at these cards, a lot of them, many of them are not particularly bright and encouraging, but we'll see where this goes. So the topic is the Seven of Wands, and that is usually about a conflict with an adversary who is very capable, and a reminder that you do have the tools necessary to win this battle. This is a creative battle because the wands are creativity. They're also about energy. So it's a battle with your energy. Boy, can I identify with that. So that's the topic. The opposition or the conflict is the Eight of Cups, which could just mean that the best way to win this is to just leave, is to step out of the battle. Interesting. Just I was listening to a conversation today about, it was a post about an article, I think, posted by a psychologist that was saying that people who freeze you out are that how negative it is, and that it's always comes from some kind of negative place of manipulation and control. And a lot of the responses to the article were like, well, wait a minute, you're completely ignoring that people who are in an abusive situation, often the only response they can give is silence, because anything else elicits more anger and abuse. So that was an interesting conversation. So it's possible that the only way you have out is just to leave from this situation. And this may not be a physical leaving. It may be an internal removing yourself from it. And then the potential outcome is the King of Swords, which is mastery of your thoughts, mastery of your self-control, the ability to cut through ideas, um, and discern what is going to be best for you and others around you. Because remember, he is a king. So, but this is air of air. So this is no emotions. Get your emotions out of it. Maybe this is about leave your emotions behind when you make this decision regarding this. Is that leave your emotions behind so that you can very carefully excise what is not needed. Okay. So now we'll add the rest of the triangles to it. So now we're going to elaborate on this statement of the issue, which is influenced by a great deal of grief and fear and potential guilt, things that keep you awake at night. And there is another fight going on here. So we have to remember that. Um, but things that keep you awake at night and things that you worry about at night is maybe behind your inability to access your great potential. And these are things that come up suddenly because he didn't even have time to put on both boots or both shoes. Um, so these are feelings that can come up suddenly. But again, these are thoughts, not so much feelings. And here again, creativity. So balancing these with this question today, this statement today, this topic, is this great celebration, this stability celebration. So interesting, you have the two opposites here. You have this creative and um, powerful stability, joy, community against the loneliness and isolation of these moments alone in the dark in the middle of the night. And so that may be the battle. So, what bright and encouraging message do you have for me today? So, this is the take that it has is that you have an ongoing battle, and it looks like that ongoing battle is internal within yourself, balancing these things and making sure this one doesn't win. So, stepping away from your emotions is where we kind of left this. And this is between a reminder of this great stability, joy, happiness, community, and a lot of things that are rushing at you. And again, these are creative ideas, these impulses to just get physically moving. Um, and that is influencing this need to to move away from the emotions. Um, Focus on this, the strength and stability in the community, even in the midst of other ideas. Notice they're the same. So these creative ideas are the same thing that make up this stability, but these may be outside influences flying at this. So being willing to step away from these outside influences. And then the potential outcome, again, he is able to cut through both these thoughts and these outside influences to create a beautiful landscape of the mind that is strong and also able of fluttering and flying into this blue sky. If we want to look at colors, we have brightness at the top. This is our question is about brightness today. And even though the moon is out, this is not a dark blue sky. Um, so we have four blue skies. So blue sky is good. One, black sky, nighttime, black thoughts. So overall, you have every reason to be able to get here. The encouraging message is you have the ability to cut through. You have the stability to help you remember what's important that you can fight for against these and this, and to be able to step away from emotions that are overwhelming you and just make it about rational choices. Cut through the extra stuff to create your beautiful landscape. And I'm going to add 3 Lenormand cards to this. This is from the Friar's Delight Lenormand. The ship, the fish, and the rider. And here is the bright news, the good news. So we have the ship coming in here to bring you good news, and the fish, which is also a prosperous card, uh, something tangible and material, perhaps business news or a financial windfall. Um, it also can deal with emotions. So, again, you want to be careful not to get wrapped up in the emotional aspect of this. And the rider, who is also another positive card. Um, it is equated with the 9 of Hearts, the wish card. So the rider is really bringing good things your way, and it's particularly good if it's next to a significator, which he's the only court card here, so he is by way of being a significator. And you might want to think about today that the King of Swords part of yourself. And this is also about bringing a message. It could be news from far away, speediness, transportation. So here we have more speediness. And wish fulfillment. Here we have the 10 of Swords. So we have kind of a conflict here in those meanings, except that that 10 is completion, and the ship is generally a very positive card. It's business opportunity. So we have 2 things about business. So when we look at the rest of this, we can say we have thoughts and creativity and 2 cards about business and a message from long distance. So this most likely, this bright news that you're getting today is going to be about business, financial, creative thought, and opportunities there. So the big things to remember here are to make it a logical decision. Don't base it on the emotional part of this, other than remembering the stable grounding that you have with the community that you have. To take this this ability that you have to win against foes, and remember that that is even being brought into you from outside. And channel the King of Swords. Again, setting your emotions aside, listening attentively for messages that may be coming that have to do with your wishes, and being able to cut through your own negative thoughts and the rush of activity, so that even if you do have to act quickly, you're ready to make a decisive, bright, encouraging choice. That's your reading for today. Again, if the cards don't speak to you today, if this card reading doesn't have meaning for you, just take it as an opportunity to look at the cards, think about various meanings of the cards and the way they interact with each other. This is Kara. Have a clear thinking and stable day. Thank you.